views of 73 yards. And I'm like, why do you care what I say? Everyone, even some of the big reviewers are giving it a big fat, 10 out of 10. And I'm like, and me personally, I'm hoping that we're going to get a better resolution to this at the end of the season. Because tripping on a fairy circle, sending you into a parallel timeline or whatever happened, I know we're angling more towards the supernatural angle, angling more towards supernatural. We're angling more towards supernatural things, which to me, Doctor took on things that could be considered supernatural before. We didn't need some weird oblong reason for it. But, hang on, I'm composing myself. I'm going to definitely rewatch the episode before we do the Omega Files on it. Maybe I'll change my mind, but I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I may be a dense old man because maybe I'm just going senile in my old age. I don't know. Because, all right, she got out of the TARDIS. She stepped on a fairy circle. Doctor suddenly disappears. There's this mysterious apparition, which I think they said is her, that's 73 yards away at all times. Which apparently they explained as being, well, that's just be at the edge of blur distance for 20/20 vision. And I'm like, and that's it? What did this person say to everyone else to make them run screaming, or like Kate, suddenly turn her back on Ruby and take a hike? I'll lay money we'll never find out. Was it the Doctor who stepped on it? Okay, like I said, I'm going to rewatch it before I do the Mega Files, because I wasn't sure it was Ruby stepped in it or was the Doctor stepped in it. Okay, so the Doctor stepped in it. It could be an alternate timeline once again where the Doctor has been taken out of time. I'll have to double check that. Don't worry, I'm going to rewatch this and take notes, because I'm still trying to get over this. I'm like, and then the TARDIS is like decomposing and got moss growing all over it. Like, okay, did the TARDIS die, or it's never grown vegetation, has it? Oh well. Like I said, it's just an episode. Everybody seems to like it, and I'm not gonna jump on you, call you names, and go because you did. Unlike a lot of the people back in the previous era who got gatekeeped to the point of paranoia. And people saying things online that I won't even re-describe, or, I won't even repeat. Ugh. But apparently Dot and Bubble coming up this week is going to be another, I believe this one's going to be a bit Doctor and Ruby light. And, which is not surprising, because we know 73 Yards was one of the first ones they filmed for the new series, because Shooty was off finishing up on Sex Education. Okay, Ruby stepped on the butterfly. I remember that. Yeah, and then the Doctor stepped on the fairy circle. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to rewatch it just to make sure I've got everything lined up, because I was flabbergasted. I'm like, this reminds me of Turn Left, except with Turn Left, it was a critter who's part of the Tricksters Brigade. They caused Donna to go off into a parallel timeline, creating a parallel world, and yada yada bang bang. Now, could it be that this... And I'm really hoping we're not going to get to the monster at the end of this series, and it's the freaking Trickster. Ugh. But I have this eerie feeling it might be. Ugh. Wow, I think I got a little sun so far this summer. Yeah, it could be witchcraft or it's witchcraft. Meanwhile, you should hear them yelling about the ratings, screaming about the ratings again. And I'm like, ratings went up in episode 4. Oh. But they're still miserably low because we're only looking at the BBC overnight figures instead of looking at the streaming figures of overall. And they're going to do that crap. I highly doubt that, but like I said, it would. Now, a lot of people were also a little bit weirded out by the way I described it. Look, Edric could have been lied to. Let's do a hypothetical where somebody pops in, saves Edric at the last minute, and spins him this story about how he was abandoned. Now, remember, the Edric was not on board the TARDIS when the TARDIS console was damaged. So, it could be for years someone's been feeding into his head, that way he called it. Nope, he took off because it was easier. And blah, blah this, blah, blah that. And, yep, so that was Susan Twist, you're right. So it's going to be interesting to find out more about, who Susan Twist is playing. Then we have Mrs. Flood in there, what is she up to? Who is she? So like I said, I'm not writing anything off completely because I'm going to rewatch the episode, and I'm kind of hoping, with the weird way that RTD does it, he's going to tie all this together at the end. And then there's that Moffat guy. We got to throw some stuff at Moffat just because he showed up. Oh, man. I always feel bad for Moffat because of the way some of the fandom treated him, and RTD towards the end, he was getting slammed. Moffat was getting threats. People were threatening him and his family, and for what? Because they didn't like the way their TV show was going? Imagine explaining that to a higher power. Now, I don't want this ever to happen, so don't take this literally. You wind up on it's like, would you like to make a statement? Oh, yeah, I killed him because that whole timeline, it said that whole synopsis of that one story thread, it just really bummed me out. Yeah. Yeah, some people are saying it's Ruby, but we never got any confirmation of that. I was just thought maybe I missed something because, and like I said, we saw pictures of the actor, who's the 73 yards away lady, and she's got this big scar that was made up onto her face, and I'm like, why'd they bother doing that? Because we don't see her close up, even though there's things in the world like binoculars. But that's one thing I'm going to check for, see if they even explain that, If you're having trouble seeing or hearing or what she's doing, we have things in this world like binoculars. But I'm going to see if they covered that angle or not before I go into it. Because I want to double check this episode because, I don't know, I'm beginning to think maybe I drifted off in the middle But as I said, RTD will sometimes knit these things up at the end of the season. So maybe it's something that's going to be knitted up then, because I don't know. It was the actors were great, the performances were excellent, the cinematography was pretty damn good, but I'm still trying to figure out what, other than, oh, look, here's another story that didn't happen. At least with Donna, it tied in because it tied into bringing back, in a way, Rose Tyler and that whole parallel world thing. Like I said, yeah, we'll sit back, we'll find out, we'll be patient. Okay, folks, well, it's about time for me to run inside, so please be kind, be calm, be safe, enjoy your Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, and then there's the weekend. Omega Files should be tomorrow live around the same time, about 8-ish p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to get everybody together and say, look, what did you get out of this episode? Because like I said, I'm definitely rewatching it tomorrow. And I'm going to jot down some notes here and there because I just, maybe I missed something on the first time through. So, maybe on the second time through, I'll get it. So take care, everybody. Have a great day. See you all on the flip side.